your audience. Like, seriously, you guys, who are the people who need your services right now? Like, right now. Not now, but right now, as they say, right? Like, who are the people who need your products and services right now? That's your niche. And it can't be, oh, Angelic, I'm just going to sell to everybody. That's a tough one to do. I have to be honest with you. When you have a product, if you're talking to everybody, a lot of times you're talking to nobody because you definitely need to be speaking to somebody's pain points, right? So just keep that in mind. If you got a product or a service, make sure you got that niche. Is it millennial women? Is it corporate women? Is it single moms? Is it single dads? Is it athletes that play golf? Is it athletes that play tennis? Like, who are your go-tos? Who's your tribe? Is it people who need help, like I said, with growing their hair, or a tribe of people who have curly hair, or people who are bald? Like, who are your go-tos? We got to figure that out. So once you have your, again, whoever's just joining, I'm going all over. It's Angelic Marnier. And if I was just getting started in the online space, what are the immediate things I need to get up and running quickly? Because money loves speed. So the first and foremost, like I said, is a product or a service. Next, immediately, once you have that product or service, please immediately figure out who are you going to be selling to, and just sell to them. If you look at Amazon in the beginning, they just spoke to book readers. They only had books to sell. That's what they had. And they spoke directly to their audience. Their audience was book readers. Do that same thing. Let's do what Bezos did and be winning just like he. Let's be that $1 billion company that he ended up being. Next is you need a platform of some sort. And when I say a platform, you need some type of place to put your product. So it could be if you create a course like I do, or if you have a membership, maybe you have a subscription or something like that where people are going to pay you monthly. You got to have a place to put that, right? Maybe you have a Facebook group. Whatever your online digital product or service is, you got to have a place to put it. So that could be something like, I use Kartra. That's where I house my courses. You can do, webinars on there. You need Webinar Jam, but that's another service. But you can create landing pages and sales pages, and all that is a page where people click and you collect their email and you send out what they ask for. But you got to have some type of platform. It could be teachable. It could be if you have a product. If you guys are on here and you have products like waist trainers or lashes, or bodysuits or whatever, you want to have Shopify. Maybe you have watches, or you sell jewelry. Make sure you got the one that I'm most familiar with, that I used, was Shopify. So that's a good platform because everything's already templated out for you. You could just kind of plug and play, okay? But like I said, if you have an ebook or a membership or something like that, you can look at School. I think that's another one, SKOOL, where you can do a lot of these things as well. But you got to have somewhere where people can actually get your stuff. If you are like, Angelic, I don't have any money at all, okay, then I got a hack for that as well. You can put all your stuff in a Google folder, and you send people that link to that Google folder, okay? So that's how it gets done in the beginning. And then once you can afford to, pay maybe, $39 or $99 to a service, then you can do that. You got to be willing to either create videos, go live, do some collaborations, you guys. That's probably the biggest thing, and something that helped me in my career was collaborating with other people that have your audience, right? Not competitors. So if you do Pilates, maybe you want to, collab with somebody who does vegan eats or something like that. That's a great way to collaborate. You guys probably have similar audiences, but they're not competing audiences. Now, if that person has a whole lot of followers and you don't, well, at least you're getting those eyeballs onto your product. It's all free and it didn't cost you anything. And it just happened to be that you collab with some people and their audience gravitated to you. Now you can start bringing them into your cocoon, into your environment, and you can start selling to them as well. So just something to think about. And I encourage you to collaborate with other people. That's a great way to do that. I was doing a starter kit for everybody who's just getting started, or if you're thinking about getting started. I wanted to get them up and running quickly. So far we went over, you got to have a product and a service. You got to have an audience. And when I say audience, you don't already have to have them, but you need to figure out who your audience is. You also got to have a platform, you guys. You got to have either Kartra, Teachable, somewhere where, when I say platform, somewhere where people can actually get your stuff, where all your stuff is housed, right? Or even Shopify or Google Drive, something like that. And then we said you got to market. Next thing, make sure that you have a way to get paid, right? Let's get paid. Let's get this money. Get this money, you guys, and make sure you got a Stripe and a PayPal, if nothing else. I know people got Apple Pay and all these other things. Make sure you got PayPal, because there are some people, and I've heard this before, and it was a light bulb for me. I remember one lady, and she had oodles and boodles of money, and she said, you know what, sometimes I go to buy stuff, and they don't have PayPal, and I'm just too lazy to go get my credit card. I say to myself, I'll get around to it later, and I never do. But if they had a PayPal, I'd pay for it right then and there. That was a light bulb for me. Make sure you guys have PayPal. And then for those of you only who have PayPal, make sure you have a business PayPal. I would say a business PayPal. And then for those of you who do not have Stripe or Square, something where people can actually put in, I was going to say swipe, but we don't typically do that, but something where people can input their debit and credit card. Okay. So PayPal is one thing, a way to do, it's a payment merchant, I think it's called, or processor. And then Stripe or Square are where people can, you got to have debit, because some people don't want to do PayPal. They don't even have PayPal, okay? And then, there's Venmo and all those other ones, but those are the two I see that work all the time. And then also, if I was getting started right now, I would go ahead and get a professional G Suite Google email address. I definitely would do that. I definitely would have something that it just looks more professional. People would take more serious, and it's only like $6 a month if I'm not mistaken, unless things have changed. But yeah, get a real email address. I would. It makes you look more professional. It doesn't cost you a lot. And if you don't end up with that business or something like that, you can get rid of that email address. But why not look professional? It just looks better than having it at Gmail or at, it seems like everybody's on Gmail now, at Yahoo, at whatever, I don't know what else there is, but those are pretty much the only things I typically see. And then last but not least, and once you have that email, start, emailing people. That would be a great way to, I already said you need to market and promote. Maybe you send out an email to people on your email list. And once you have a Gmail set up, and once, like I said, we have that platform, let's start collecting emails. It does not hurt to start emailing early. I definitely would say, I think a lot of people would say if they could do it all over again, they would create or start their email list earlier. And I would have to agree with that as well. Last but not least, you might need a couple of things with regards to equipment. So if you're doing courses, or if you're doing an ebook, or if you're doing even courses, you might need to get into Canva, a way to create slides, or if you want to create PDFs or ebooks, or you want to do a checklist or something for your product. Maybe you do weight loss and you want to show people the checklist of weight loss. Like, get into Canva, Canva. A lot of us are in there. We enjoy it. It makes you look like a graphic artist, even though you're not. It's pretty simple. Once you get the hang of it, I'm not an expert. There's a lot of people who are, but check out Canva. But you're going to need a computer. If you're going to be in the online space, it goes without saying, but I'm just going to make sure you're going to need a computer that works. I know when I got started, I didn't have the best computer. It wasn't until I started making money that I got a much better computer. So start where you're at, but at least you're going to have a computer and not an iPhone, but an Android or iPhone or some type of smartphone. You might need a microphone, might not though, probably won't need one unless your computer's not great. I had to get one when I started. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a great computer. I had to get a microphone. You might have to get a camera or a video camera, but typically your phone is just fine. You don't need a webcam unless you just really need one. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I do most of my stuff on my phone and on my laptop, so I wouldn't get it. But in case you do, definitely get a ring light. I think that's really important. I think you'll value having that. Something you might want to think about is getting Calendly. So you can, if you want people to book appointments with you, make sure you had a product or a service, waist trainers or eyelashes. Make sure you have a service. Like, are you going to be a coach? Are you going to have a subscription based something where people pay each month? Are you going to have an ebook? Just have something, a service or a product. Figure out your niche, that is the most important thing. Not most important. Hey, it is so good to see you as well. So good to see you. Make sure you figure out who your niche is in the very beginning. I know a lot of people in the beginning like to talk to everybody. I haven't found that worked. I found that if you just talk to corporate women or corporate women who want to get out of their 9-to-5 job, or if you speak to photographers who want to start their own studio, or attorneys who want to start their own law practice, or single moms who are looking forward to dating again, something like that. Get that, and then have a platform, have some way for people to find your product, get to your product. Okay, so whether it's Kajabi, Kartra, Shopify, there's got to be a place where your stuff is housed, where it sits. If nothing else, put it on a Google Drive, okay? Make sure that people are able to pay you via Stripe and PayPal. This is very important. Make sure you're marketing. You gotta, and it doesn't have many fancy marketing. Just go live like I'm going right now, and plug yourself. Let people know. A lot of times people aren't buying from you because they just don't know you exist. They just don't know that your product is out there. But if they knew you could help them with their marriage, if they knew that you could help them, pray better, or tap into God more, or understand the Bible better, or if they understood that you knew how to do natural hair and you can help people with alopecia, or people who need edges, all that kind of stuff, or people who want want help with, getting into crypto or getting into stocks. They just don't know about you, but if they did, they'd be willing to buy from you. So get out there and market yourself. Like I said, have your payment processors, set up a professional email. I think that's really important. Just go into G Suite under Google. Create your own, it's I think it's $6 a month. I know that is something, but I think most of us probably could do $6 a month. Makes you look more professional, and then figure out what equipment you're going to need. You might need some equipment, like I said, a ring light, a microphone. You might not though. When I got started, I didn't have any of those things. What else did I put down here? Calendly. If you plan to do like me, I take sales calls, meaning I sit down with people and I talk to them to see if they're a good fit. I do it via Zoom. You might need Zoom. You might need Loom, Loom. That allows you to screen record. Canva, something good you might want to have. Make sure you have inventory. Like I said, if you do lashes or waist trainers or something, unless you're drop shipping. And last but not least, I need you to have the mindset of this. And this is what I wish I would have known in the very beginning, that even if nobody's paying attention, they really are paying attention. Okay, so if you don't see any eyeballs, nobody likes your stuff, nobody comments on your stuff, keep going. And I think that is the biggest starter kit, honestly. And I say that to the end just to get through the stuff that most people want to hear. But bottom line, you guys, I'm telling you, if you just can get past that first 2 or 3 months when it's feeling like nobody's paying attention, if nothing's working, did God tell me to do this? Am I in my right space? Is my energy off? What's wrong with me? All of those things. I'm telling you, if you keep showing up consistently, people will start paying attention to you and they will buy from you. It might take 2 or 3 months. Like, how long is it going to take for you to actually convert your first sale? I don't know. But this is the starter kit tip for the day. No matter what, if you have something, and I said this in the beginning, if you have something that people buy and you fulfill a need, they will buy.